Hello and welcome to Teching It Up. Today we are going to add buttons to Nintex Automation, or K2 as it was formerly called, task notification emails. So normally you have the option to approve or reject or whatever your configured actions are for that work flow or task to complete by responding with email. And you actually have to respond by clicking reply and then send the email. Here we're just going to assist the users a little bit by adding some buttons for them. So what will happen is they'll click the task, they'll click approve, and then they can send this email. So the email is already written for them. They actually don't have to type approve. Same for reject. Same for redirect if needed. Or delegate and sleep. Now there's a couple of things involved with this process. So first we have to come up with the HTML to actually generate these buttons or links that are just formatted as buttons. And we will do this using some ChatGPT and a little bit of Visual Studio Code. Then once we have that, we'll have some templates for emails. We'll actually replace the email in the workflow with this. And then we have to replace some tokens in the email. So not everything can be generated through the HTML. So here I am in Visual Studio Code. And this is the HTML that I asked ChatGPT to generate for me. So my exact prompt was to generate an email, so I had to prompt this a couple times for it, for the approval and reject buttons. I gave it the standard template for the email, and then I asked it to not use any style or body tags, because when I tried to actually add this in K2, it took out those style or body tags, and I just had a whole bunch of style on the top of the email. So I'll also put a prompt on the screen that I know will work for this that you can use for that. So once you have that, I would recommend putting it in Visual Studio Code, something like this. I also have an extension to preview HTML. Then you can play with the colors, change the style as needed. Once you have a template you are happy with, you can copy. So as I said before, the body tags will not work. I'll take to the table tags then and copy this, and then we'll flip over to our workflow. Okay, here I am in the workflow designer. I have a pretty simple workflow here, just one single task. I just named it email buttons example. And right now, if I click on the task, I have the standard email. I'm going to go to open text editor. Well, actually, we'll clear this first. And then I'm going to insert that copied HTML into this. Now we have the hard part. So although we have these links that work, they work using this mail to link. Let's see. Like we have here, using the mail to protocol, and then instead of an HTTPS, as we see here, the two dots specify, or the colon specifies the protocol, and then the address that we're sending it to. So we have someone at example.com. This obviously doesn't make sense, and we'll have to replace all these someones at example.com. So if we actually go into our context browser, we can search for from address or reply to address. So I'll just put that in again. And that is what we need to do. We need to find all this place where this is used. Mail to, and put that in there. Make sure we don't have any spaces. Okay, where else do we have mail to? We should have a few. Here's another one. Delete the text behind. However, leaving the question mark. believe that would work the same way as a URL query string parameters. So after this, we have protocol, address, and parameters with the question mark specifying that there are parameters, and then an and between the rest of the parameters. So exactly as a URL works. Delete this one. We have quite a few in here. Maybe I'll just do the first 3. We have multiple in here because instead of just using the task actions, we're also doing this for redirect and things like that. Oh, deleted. Question mark. And I think that's it. Okay, great. So first we have the one for approval. We have the subject, approval. The subject doesn't matter. However, within the body, we need the workflow task. So I'm going to go to workflow, expand task, and we need the serial number. Make sure to have a space between the approval action, which is needed, and the serial number. Body reject, and the serial number. From address, let's see, body redirect, and the serial number. I believe for redirect we would actually probably need the user's ID there too. It's not something that we normally do through email. Same with delegate. But we'll just finish it off. Delegate and sleep, I would imagine, worked fine with just a serial number. Okay, now we have that in. We can add any other tokens that we need here. Of course, just copying over the HTML by itself won't do that. We'll deploy the workflow. Succeed. I'm just going to run the workflow once, start a new version of it. Great, that's active. I should receive an email. So here's the email I received with approve and reject. I'll try the approve button. We see that there's an email to the K2 server. I have the action and I have the serial number that I put in there before. I'll click send to test it. Look at my workflow status. This is this one here, started at 120. Great. And now I finally got the message back that I have successfully completed the action. And I see that the workflow is completed. Okay, great. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if there's any more you would like me to do, and I'll try my best to do them. I'll also make sure that this code is available on GitHub, and I'll link that in the description. But I would also recommend just going to ChatGPT and getting, or whatever your favorite AI agent, and helping them generate some things. Okay.